New question, the member from Hamilton East Stony Creek.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the acting Premier. The hydro rate crisis caused by this government is now putting hundreds of Hamiltonians at risk of losing the roof over their heads. The city's homelessness prevention program has run out of money because so many struggling people have needed help with their hydro bills. Wow. The government says it will increase the funding next year, maybe, but the program is facing a $2.5 million deficit right now, caused by Liberal hydro failures. Wow. What will this government do today to ensure hundreds of people in my community can stay in their homes and keep the lights on and the heat on?
Thank you. Deputy Premier.
To the Minister of Housing and responsible for poverty reduction.
Minister of Housing and responsible for poverty reduction strategy.
Well, thank you, Speaker. And I know that it goes without saying, Speaker, that Ontarians should never have to choose between paying for food or their hydro bill. And the Minister of Energy has outlined a number of key things that his ministry is putting into place. An 8% rebate, 20% for rural, suspending large renewable procurement. But I can say that when it comes to Hamilton, Speaker, since 2003, this government has invested over $166 million for affordable housing. Well, what does that mean in Hamilton, Mr. Speaker? In Hamilton, it means 872 affordable housing units have been created in Hamilton, Mr. Speaker. Wow. 470 affordable housing units have been repaired in Hamilton, Mr. Speaker. 294 households received down payment assistance.
Thank you. Before we move to supplementary, just a reminder that the member has been warned. You have been warned already. Whoa, you're welcome.
Speaker, the Premier likes to call herself the social justice Premier. Fair enough. Yet as Housing Minister, Kathleen Wynne cut and capped funding for municipal homelessness prevention programs, leaving thousands of vulnerable Ontarians at risk. Previously, the province used to fund homelessness prevention based on need, and hydro in this province used to be affordable for all. Well, Speaker, an apology isn't quite enough anymore. What real concrete steps will this Premier take to actually bring down hydro bills and keep people in their homes?
Thank you. Minister.
Well, thank you, Speaker, and I'm glad the member opposite mentioned the Community Homelessness Prevention Initiative. Last year, Mr. Speaker, that program called Chippy helped almost 40,000 families across Ontario. Because of Chippy, Mr. Speaker, 115,000 families and individuals remain in their homes. Mr. Speaker, this government doesn't need to take a lesson from the opposite side. Their platform, the NDP platform, didn't even mention the word poverty in the last election, Mr. Speaker. Come on. And now they're concerned, The NDP, Mr. Speaker, have said no to higher wages for PSWs. They've said no to an increase for families who depend on the Ontario Child Benefit. Mr. Speaker, the list goes on about everything the NDP said no about.